Welcome back. Episode number 25 this week. Yeah, boy. It's kind of fitting because Christmas is on the 25th of December, isn't it? Pretty cool. It'd be even cooler if this was my Christmas episode, but it's not. Next week will be my last episode for 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, I think. I've been thinking about it, been planning out what I'm going to do for next week. And I think I'm going to do a bit of a year in review for next week's one. And then when I come back, I will lay out my new goals or my goals for the coming year, next year. Got some things I want to try and tick off. But that's all for next year. This year, for now, next week's episode will be like a year in review, like Spotify Wrapped, towing the line Wrapped. But right now, this episode, I'm not going to tell you the topic. You'll know what the topic is because it'll be the fucking title. But you know what? I'm not going to tell you now. You don't get to know. You have to wait. You got to listen to me talk about my week first. So, how about you guys? How's your week been? What's been going on? The week leading up into Christmas week. I'm sure it's a busy time for everyone. I've finished my Christmas shopping, thankfully. But yeah, busy week this week. For me, it's been weird. I don't really know why. I think I'm just pretty tired. My training's just been pretty hectic. So, I'm just fucking tired. That's it. This morning, I had a 2-hour bike, a 2-hour trainer set, and I really didn't want to do it. I had a trainer set yesterday afternoon, and that was really hard. It was only an hour and 5 minutes, but it was when you see it's only an hour and 5 minutes, you know it's fucked. You know it's gonna send you there. So it was only an hour and 5 minutes, but it was rough. And then this morning, I knew I had an hour and 50, and I was like, I just didn't want to do it. I don't know. There's workouts that you have every now and then, and you just don't want to fucking do them. I woke up and I was like, man, maybe I'll just phone it in today and just take a day off. I don't want to do this at all. I haven't phoned it in for a long time. And I was like, maybe I'll just phone it in today and not do it. And then I thought about it and I was like, fuck, it's because I don't want to do it. It's probably a key session, which means I probably should do it. And then I was like, ugh. When I said that, I was I committed to doing it. But what I didn't do, I didn't force myself to get up straight away. I was like, you know what? Take another hour to sleep and then get up and do it. So I didn't start till 7. And because it was an hour 50, I didn't finish till 9 o'clock, which was unusual for me. I like to get my training done super early usually, but you know what? Some days you got to just take it slow and enjoy it. I got nothing else to do, for fuck's sake, so I may as well just enjoy it. But fuck, it was so sweaty. I'm just going to try and fix this camera because it looks like it's on a fucking angle and it's doing my head in. Hopefully I can still see myself. Nice. It was so fucking sweaty. My room afterwards, had a shower. I cleaned my bike because it was covered in sweat, so I had to give it a good wipe down and a good spray with this stuff that helps protect it against moisture. And then I had a shower, then left, went to get a drink and make myself some food and whatnot, and then came back and walked in my room and it was like a sauna. It was noticeably moist. The floor was moist, the walls, everything was moist because of the sweat from my bike. It was ridiculous. So I'm glad I did that. I've got that out of the way. I was when I was going to bed last night, I was like, I'll get up early. It'll be fucking great. I'll get up. I'll smash out the bike set. I'll be done by 7 o'clock. I'll have some breakfast, chill out, plan out the podcast. Then I'll go and do some strength work in the afternoon. It'll be sick. The weather will be pumping. I'll get out there. It'll be grouse. Sun's out, guns out. And then I woke up and I was like, fuck no. I'm not doing that. So yeah, I just did my bike set, and then I'm sorry if this chair is really annoying. It's annoying me. So I was like, fuck no, I'm not doing that. So I did my bike set. And then, yeah, I'm not going to train this afternoon. I haven't done any strength work this week. It's annoying. I wanted to, but sometimes you can't win them all. And this week, I don't know. It's just I don't have it in me. I only had space for one session anyway. I don't like doing stuff Friday afternoons. That's my new thing. I only had space for one session, and I was like, no. I was too exhausted at the start of the week, and now I'm at the point at the end of the week. I'm not doing anything extra. I don't need to. I did 2 hours on the bike today. I'm not going to go and do some extra strength stuff. The only thing I would maybe do is core and arms, but I don't know if I can be fucked doing that. So this week, I'm just going to be a write-off in the strength department, and then I'm hoping next week my program isn't as hectic and I can squeeze in at least 1 or 2 strength sessions because I miss it. But at the end of the day, triathlon and Ironman is my priority at the moment, and that's going to come first regardless of anything. So if I feel good, I might squeeze it in, but if I don't feel good, then as long as I get my tri training in, I'm happy. I've had some good swims this week. Starting to feel a bit better, getting back into the groove of things, so it's pretty good. As for running as well, running's been pretty good too. Yeah, I'm not looking forward. Well, I guess this weekend's going to be interesting. I have tomorrow like 3 hours and 20 minutes on the bike, and then a 13k run, which isn't too bad. Like I've been running 16, so it's not, not that bad, not the end of the world. So that'll be all right. And then 23Ks on Sunday. Just got to pick out where I'm going to run on Sunday. Just figure out a nice little course so I can get out the 23Ks nice and easy. Then we hit in fucking Christmas week. Damn, son. Like I said, I think I'll record the episode start of the week next week, and then I'll put it out Sunday. And that'll be the Christmas episode. Then I'll take 2 weeks off. So yeah, my week's been pretty boring this week. Didn't really do anything. I didn't get up to anything interesting at all. Except I lied. I put the roof tray on my car. That was fun. It was a good little job. Now it's got tow pack and a roof tray. Happy days. Next I might put a light bar on the roof tray, which will be, I'm trying to, like I said, I think I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'm trying to do everything myself. So that'll be good fun. Good little home project for me to figure out how to wire a light bar. That'll be interesting. I managed to wire up the tail, the tow lights, like the brake lights and all that stuff on the trailer. I managed to do that, which wasn't too bad. So it'll be interesting to see if I can manage to do it with a light bar. But we shall see. Otherwise, brings us up to date, my friends. Not much else has happened. I'm just reading through my notes now. Screen time. Okay, that's one thing that I have let down big time this week. My screen time has been atrocious. I've been getting caught in the Instagram loop, which is not good. I don't like it at all. So I'm going to make an effort to stop that massively. Like I really got to stop. I think I'm just going to start leaving my phone and just not bringing it with me wherever I go, because I feel like when I got it with me, then it's like, I'll just check shit, and then you get caught in the loop. So it's like, no, I'm just going to break that by not giving myself the option, because it's becoming a problem, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I could be doing more productive things than sitting there scrolling through fucking Instagram. It doesn't help that I don't have many things to do during the day. So it's like, I can afford to, do it. But that's not the point. I don't want to spend my time scrolling through shit like that. I'd rather be doing stuff, and it's annoying. I'd rather be out there doing shit than sitting there scrolling through fucking reels. So yeah, I'm going to try and fucking curb that one real quick, especially going into Christmas. I think because I'll be busy doing stuff with people, hopefully I just leave my phone and I'm not interested. Not interested at all. I will still post my podcast clips because, why not? I did a good little system for when I made the clips for last week's episode. As I clipped them out of the iMovie thing, as I clipped them out, I would write a quick little blurb on it and what I was going to say when I posted it. So they were all ready to go. So now when I want to post it, all I got to do is go copy and paste and then put the reel up, and then we fucking blast it out there, and I'm happy days. I don't have to, go back and edit shit. I don't have to think of a caption, when I want to post it. It's like, cool, it takes me 2 minutes, not even, less, to just post it, and that's it. Done and dusted, mate. No need to come back. No need to come back for more. So I'm going to try and follow that with today's episode. Make it nice and quick and efficient. There was one thing actually I wanted to run through with you guys. There was something I saved on Instagram, and I thought it was pretty cool. I didn't actually read them all, so excuse me if this bombs. Unwanted interactions. Okay, I'm not going to do that now. I'll do that later. Also, someone must be like reporting me as needing mental help on Instagram. I keep getting this message that pops up, and it's like, someone is concerned about your well-being. Please seek help. We offer these services, and then it's like a bunch of suggested services for mental health, and I was like, yeah, cool. Like, I appreciate the gesture, but it's happened like 6 times over the past 3 days or so. So I'm like, all right, yes, okay, all right, I might be fucking struggling a bit, but I don't need to be reminded every fucking 5 minutes. Shit. So the gesture's nice, I appreciate it, but I am getting help. I'm seeing a psychologist. Ooh, that's another thing I can talk about today. I don't know if we covered much. I'll read my notes. Anyway, so basically one person has crowdsourced the very best life advice from over 20 million people online. And there's just some cool little things that I thought were interesting that I would read out to you guys. So the first one is family treasure. Get a blank book. Ask each family member over 50 to write down life advice that their descendants in 500 years should know. Keep passing it down. You should now have a family treasure that gets more useful over time. That's pretty cool. I heard that and I was like, I like that. Like, that would have a bit of history from, everyone. You just keep passing it down, and just more and more cool advice gets added. And then there would always be that one funny dude who would write something ridiculous, and it would just, it would get a laugh every year, or every time someone reads it, they'd be like, oh, fucking Bill, crazy man. Reframing your day. Instead of feeling that you've lost the day after a bad morning, reframe each day as 4 quarters: morning, midday, afternoon, evening. If you blow one quarter, just get back on track for the next one. Fail small, not big. Love that. Absolutely love that. Because I feel like it's so easy to have a shit morning. Like, for me, it would be related. Like, if I missed a session or felt like shitty about a session, I'd be like, fuck, the day's ruined, blah, blah, blah. And it wouldn't get good until I hit a good session, which would be in the afternoon. Whereas if I broke my day down into morning, midday, afternoon, and evening, then it'd be fine. Like, I'd get past the morning, like, whatever, doesn't matter, move on, next thing. So I really think that's positive. I think that's an awesome little tip that you can use, breaking your day down into 4 quarters and, reframing it. Way better. Next one. Anger and mistakes. Getting angry at people for mistakes doesn't teach them to not make mistakes, teaches them to hide their mistakes. Fucking bomb. That's insane. It does. It teaches people to hide their mistakes because they don't want to get the angry response. So they're like, fuck, I've fucked up. What can I do now? What can I do to fix it? I'll hide it, and then I'll try and fix it without them knowing, because they know if they tell you, you're going to blow up in their face. So anger doesn't fix mistakes. Anger makes them, worse, because no one learns. And this is the last one in the little snippet. I'm sure there's more, but I didn't follow the link because I was like, this is cool, but I don't want to keep following it. Keeping it cool. If someone insults you during a meeting, pretend like you don't hear them for the first time. Politely ask them to repeat themselves. They'll either repeat the insult and look rude, or realize the mistake and apologize. I think that's another cool one, because regardless of whether you're in a meeting or not, it doesn't fucking matter. If you did that to someone and you said, I'm sorry, what did you say? They're gonna feel the heat, like they're gonna feel the pressures on them. So they are either gonna repeat themselves, or they're gonna turn around and say, no, nothing, don't worry, or say something different. Because you think about it, if you fucking hit someone with an insult and then they turn around and you have to say it again, it's like, ooh, usually you don't want to say it twice. Usually you just don't want to. So just that, I think, is a massive deterrent. And odds are they're not going to fucking do anything again, because they're going to feel like, fuck, like he humiliated me last time. I don't want to be humiliated again. Fuck no. So, good life advice there, I reckon. Ticks the box on that one. I was thinking about this week. I don't know about you guys, but I get a lot of spam accounts viewing my stories on Instagram. Lots of spam accounts, and it's really annoying. And they're all like, they're all trying to like aim at sex and all that kind of shit, like naked photos and all that bullshit. And I was thinking about it. I was like, if you wanted to fucking stalk someone and watch their stories and be a creep, just create a spam account. Create some fucking preposterous account that has like big titties _69 and then have the photo of some like porn star. Then you can stalk the shit out of people and they're going to just assume you're a spam account. Fucking loophole, mate. I probably shouldn't be putting that out there for stalkers, but mate, that's a surefire way to get it done without getting fucking spotted or recognised. No one's going to think twice. They're just going to be like, oh, fucking spam accounts. Meanwhile, it's you being a creep. Just putting it out there. Like, what if that is what spam accounts are? What if it's just a bunch of creepers that are like, no one's going to think twice if we just if we make it seem like we're just a spam bullshit account to try and, lure people in and give us their credit card details so we can steal their money. What if we just, use that format? Food for thought right there. Fucking happy hair. So on, what day was it? Might have been Monday. I'm trying to block my drinking from the microphone because it's annoying. I hate it when people drink on mic and it doesn't excuse me from doing it. So I'm trying to block the microphone whenever I like swallow a bunch of water or something like that because it's annoying. Anyway, on I think Monday or Tuesday, I can't remember what day it was, but it's not important. I was at the shops, right? And I was just checking my, through self-checkout at Woolies, getting some Cocoa Coast, getting the important stuff, Cocoa Coast, mangoes, all the good shit. And some fucking dude just comes straight into self-checkout, right? Just walks straight into self-checkout. No mask on. Doesn't give a fuck. Just walks straight in. It was busy as fuck too. So it might have been in the afternoon. There were so many people. And like there was a line to self-checkout. And this guy just comes burning in from the front. Like didn't go through the shops, just burned in. And he walks up to one of the credit card machines. The credit card, like pay with card. And he starts like fucking around with it. And then it became apparent he was trying to get cash out. And he couldn't because it was a card-only machine. So he fucking came in trying to cut the line, cheat the system, came in, went straight to a card-only machine, fucked around, didn't work, so just left that, went to try and find a machine that was cash or card. They were all taken because it was fucking busy. Then he was just walking around like an idiot. And then he got told to kind of like go to the back of the line by the attendant. And he like seemed all frustrated. And I was like, bro, if you're gonna fucking come in, cut in front of everyone else when it is clearly fucking packed house in here, don't get mad when you get told to go to the back of the line. Just fuck off or go to the bank. The bank is like fucking 150 meters away. Shit. Don't come in here like a fucking asshole. Go to the fucking ATM at the bank and get your cash out. Fuckface. I got so mad because I think it was Monday. No, it was Tuesday. All I know is I had run and I had swum in the morning. So I had spent like an hour and 20 running, and then I did like an hour. It would have been an hour 20 as well in the pool because I did a pool and sauna straight afterwards. So I was exhausted and very hungry. And this guy comes in and I was just fucking made me so mad. I was like, what a fucking bitch. Oh, so silly. Some people just, I don't know. I would love to like have the ability to read people's minds just so I could see what goes on inside some people's head. Because like, you would agree with me. There are people out there that you encounter just in the wild. You encounter them and you're like, what the fuck goes on inside your brain? Like seriously, what decisions, like what is the decision-making part of your brain like for you to do the things that you do? It just baffles me, some shit, man. Some shit just baffles me of some people. So, yeah. There was something else. Some other dude did something whack, but I can't remember what it was. Anyway, not the point. All right, so I will see if... I'm going to read my psychology appointment notes to see if there's anything... Oh, yes, there is something interesting. So I basically... something's been happening over the past. I'm making it seem bigger than it is. I've had this feeling as of late. Not as of late. Probably the last fucking 4 or 5 months, it's like a feeling of like, I get like super rage. I feel like Goku about to go Super Saiyan. And it's like this fucking ball of energy inside me. And I feel like I could, like when I shut my eyes, I feel like if I just fucking explode, there's just going to be decimation for like the size of a football field around me. That's how much energy I feel like is inside of me. And I told this to my psychologist, and she said, like, we worked through it a bit, and it came to be, she's like, I think you are scared of just losing control. She's like, usually you're in control of your emotions, because I've been in control of my emotions for a very long time. I've had to be, since I was younger. And she's like, I think the reason this worries you is because you're scared of losing control. Like, what happens if you can't control it? What happens if that feeling gets out and you can't control it? Like, what's going to happen? And she's right. I'm scared. Like, what if that fucking ball of energy gets out and I do decimate everything around me? Like, it's terrifying. So she's just given me some little tips to try and, like, she's just, again, it comes back to not being able to feel feelings, which is pretty fucked. She's like, you need to feel it. You need to, like, let yourself feel the feeling and describe what it is out loud, in terms of if you were trying to describe it to someone else. Because, like, if you feel it slowly, you'll chip it down, bit by bit. Like, it's just it's like all my old emotions that I've suppressed just sitting in there ready to pop. She's like, you need to feel them, and then that's when they'll go away. So yeah, that's cool. I mean, not cool, but crazy that I can start working through that now, because I've had that for a while, and it's like, maybe it's just because I'm a fan of Dragon Ball that I have that feeling, that I feel like I could just go Super Saiyan and just fucking decimate everything. But it's, at the same time, it's like, I don't know, I don't want that in me. I don't want to feel like I have a fucking nuclear bomb inside me. I don't want that. It's weird. So yeah, we also touched on the fact that exercise saved me, or delayed the inevitable. Like, we just touched on, she's like, the path that you were on was like, you were destined, or you were going to end up with like depression, and you were going to end up in a pretty dark place. And if I didn't have exercise, if I wasn't exercising as much as I was, it wouldn't have delayed that. So I would have probably already hit that already. Whereas because I was exercising so frequently, it kept me going to the point now where I can actually get help and get better, instead of, hitting the wall and ending up in a pretty bad place. So grateful for that. Fucking hell. Yeah. But it's led me to, sorry if this is a bit deep, but you know what? It's my podcast. So, I'll get through it eventually, I'm sure. But it led me to thinking, right, that this hustle, like sleep when I'm dead fucking, lifestyle is not a super positive one. Yeah, it gets your work done, and it's a good way to look at things. Like, you're productive, you shit it in, you get heaps done. You most of the time you're successful because you're working harder than everyone else. But I don't think it's a sustainable, healthy lifestyle. Like, I think it's, like, it has its positives. Yes, you're productive and you're going to work harder than other people. Great. But at the same time, what's happening at the other end? Like, I feel, just with the work that I've done with my therapist over the last couple of months, I don't think it's sustainable. I don't think it's going to get you to it. Like, you're going to eventually reach a point where it's going to turn dark. Like, it's not going to be good. It's going to be detrimental to your relationships and your life. Like, I look at it, the shit I'm going through at the moment, after, working my ass off for a pretty long time, like, just with the things that I've done. And I look at, like, if I had kept going until I was like 40, I would have insurmountable amount of problems with my health and, mindset and all that kind of thing, and outlook on just stuff in general. And then if I was to have kids, then I would probably put that onto them, and then they would be fucked up too. Like, I'm a little bit fucked up. And then that cycle would just repeat itself, and it just creates monsters, doesn't create good people. Like, the thing I'm learning is a lot of the fucking issues we have is because of the shit we went through when we were kids. It's all instilled from when we were growing up. It's stuff that we learned, subconsciously, actions and behaviors that we have in us that we don't realize are there because they're subconscious behaviors. But it's what makes us who we are. And some of them are positive, but a lot of them are negative. And odds are, if you're fucking struggling with, stuff internally, it's going to be because of shit that happened to you when you were a child. That's like, odds are that's what is causing it. And I see like these hustle, fucking, sleep when I'm dead. These guys, when they have kids, mate, those kids are going to be fucked up. They're not going to be, they're not going to, I don't know. They're going to end up like me, not knowing how to feel stuff, all fucking whack. And if they don't, get help for it, then they're going to turn out, treating their kids even worse. And then it's going to create even fucking more pieces of shit. So, yeah, it was just a thought I had that I was like, yeah, I don't know if this hustle lifestyle is super helpful, super helpful, super beneficial. Like, wouldn't you rather just, have a fucking, be successful, but not have to fucking hustle your ass off until you're dead? Like, I don't want to fucking do that. I don't want to hustle every single day of my life until I die. Fuck that. Like, it's not a good goal. Like, yeah, you might be rich as fuck, but where's the enjoyment going to be? What are you going to do? You're just going to fucking work yourself into the grave. So, I don't know. I've just been doing a lot of thinking. It's cool. There was another thought that I was going to run down, but I've seemed to have forgotten it. Anyway, another fun thought I had before. I reckon, this is a question I'm going to ask you, all right? Can you fart? Can your farts sound like a question? I reckon they can. Like, think about it next time you fart. And there are certain farts that sound like you are asking a question. Trust me, it's a thing. Like, farts can sound like you're asking a question. It's a fucking thing. It's a fact, bro. It's a fucking fact. Some farts don't sound like that. Some farts sound like you're screaming fucking abuse at the top of your lungs. But other farts sound like you're asking a question. And then that led me down the thought train of, what if your farts are the way your gut microbiome communicate with you, and it's a language we just haven't understood yet? Like the big farts are like, dude, stop eating, fucking slow down, you're killing us in here. And the question farts are like, they're like, oh, dude, we're a bit hungry. Can you kick us a bit more, a bit more sugar, a bit more fruit, We seem to not have that as much these days. And then the silent ones, like they're just like, the guys are like, you've nailed it. This is perfect. And they're like, having a good time down there. But yeah, I reckon, listen to your farts, because sometimes they sound like your butt is asking you a question. Anyway, that was just a thought. It was just a thought of mine that I had while farting my way around the kitchen. So I had I'm just going to bold this stuff. I'm going to have a quick drink. So this week's topic, as you would have known because you would see the title of the fucking episode, but anyway, humour me. Pretend you didn't know. This week's episode, I've decided to do conspiracies. What? I've also, sorry, I'm completely distracted here. There was this video that I watched, and it's just so funny. I want to figure out how to make a soundboard so I can clip sounds of funny videos, and then I can play them just at the press of a button, because I think it would be wonderful, because this video is fucking fantastic. Oh, okay, so you can hear it. All right. So this video is just of probably like a 50 or 60-year-old lady, and she had Merry Christmas on her garage in magnetic letters. And then someone has come through and changed that to say something else. And I'll play that for you now. And I just love it. I wish I could just wish I could just audio grab a certain part of it. I'll play it now.
What does that say? That is.
What the hell? Shits! Creepy shits!
I wish I could just audio grab the creamy shits. Ah! It's so funny. I wish I could just grab that and have it on a soundboard and press it just for the lols. So I think I'm going to try and figure out how to do that next year. I think that'd be grouse. Have a soundboard with a bunch of cool little snippets, cool little quotes. Like, I'll give you 50. Shit like that I like quotes from fucking cool movies and shit like that always do the trick. But anyway, back onto the important thing. I'm trying to get comfier, and I want to make sure I'm not out of frame. All right. On to the topic of the day. It is conspiracies. And I've just decided, I was like, you know what, I'll do a bit of research for this podcast today. I'll look up what are some of the most insane conspiracies out there, some of the most insane, ridiculous conspiracy theories out there at the moment. And obviously some of them are going to relate to what's going on at the moment, but I tried to limit them just to the funny ones, because there are some pretty wild conspiracies. So I've done the first few I've done like the fucking nominal ones, the normal ones, the ones that you all expect to see and hear. The first one being the biggest OG conspiracy theory in the world is the moon landing, right? In 1969 by the USA. Obviously the space race between Russia and US was full on, it was hectic. They were both trying to get to the moon first. It was the space race, it was the thing. And back in 1969, obviously fucking rocket ships and stuff were the early days. So it was pretty hectic. And it seems to be like, obviously there's a lot of shit out there. There was one I actually forgot that I might make note of later. But yeah, obviously, sorry. Yeah, I'm just, oh my gosh, what have I done? I'm horrible with the keyboard. My apologies. Yeah, obviously, if this is a conspiracy, if this is true that the moon landing was fake, then they've done a fucking fantastic job of keeping it under wraps for this long. Imagine how many people knew that it was fake. Like, they would have had to hire out this big ass studio, do this huge set, and all these people would have known, unless they kept all the scientists like in the dark because they had one scientist feeding them fake data. I don't know, but this is obviously the OG conspiracy, and the points that they made to make it seem fake were the flag was blowing in the wind, there were no stars in the sky, misangled shadows, and it hasn't happened again. Like, if we landed on the moon in 1969, how come we haven't landed on it again? It's been like 50 years, more than 50 years. Got billionaires going into the edge of space. Why haven't we landed on the moon again? You think you would want to go back there, wouldn't you? You think you'd want to go back and just fucking, put another flag there, or maybe do a hot lap, be the first person to run around the moon. We haven't been back in fucking 50 years more. It's pretty suspicious, if you ask me. That's all I'm saying on that one. Then, oh shit, the next conspiracy that is probably another common one is the assassination of JFK. Now, the reason I chose to put this one in is because there's a TV series that Caitlin and I watched earlier this year. It's 11/22/63. So 11.22.63 with James Franco, and it's a fucking amazing, not a movie, it's an amazing TV show. Like, you will binge the shit out of it. And the premise of it is he basically goes back in time to try and prevent the death of JFK, because if JFK was alive, the world would be a better place. And it's a fucking killer TV show. Seriously, watch it. It'll hit you in the feels. Real bad, like real bad. I'd almost rewatch it. It was that good. But the most popular conspiracy theory is that the government manipulated Lee Harvey Oswald into killing JFK because he wasn't following all the orders that were being passed down to him from those who were really in charge. So like the theory that Lee Harvey was kind of like persuaded or pushed or told things that kind of made him look at JFK as a bad person, and that kind of like nudged him towards wanting to take him out, wanting to assassinate him because he saw him as a threat to the country. You know what I mean? Like, being patriotic, they made JFK out to be a threat to the country. And then that's why Lee Harvey shot him. There's another theory that I had just heard recently that Lee actually missed, or like clipped him, hit him in the arm or something. And it was like, he wasn't going to die. But on retaliating fire. One of JFK's bodyguards, or the military guys, or the CIA, whatever you want to call it, were like in the motorcade. When he turned around to return fire at the sniper shot from Lee Harvey, he fucking flipped his gun around, and as he spun, shot JFK in the head or the neck, wherever he got hit, shot him, and then started shooting at where the initial shot came from. And he actually killed JFK. So it wasn't Lee Harvey Oswald, it was the fucking military CIA guy that shot him. Crazy. But the biggest thing that stood out to me from this whole conspiracy was the fact that you couldn't get away with this shit today. Can you imagine trying to cover up something? Like, if this is real and the government did take him out because he wasn't fucking going along, like, he was asking all the big questions. He was like, pretty sure he was talking about the military industrial complex, which is real, which is a real thing. Not about, it's like the fact that being in wars creates so many jobs and so much money for circulation, and it just creates... It's great for the economy because it creates so many jobs and the influx of material and sales and all that kind of stuff. And it's just like, in order, if we were to stop going to war, or if this is in the case of the US, if they would stop going to war, so many people would be out of jobs. There would be a huge cut in like the market because there wouldn't be a need for these things anymore. And like, without war, there's a huge fucking drop off. So war is needed for these companies, these big companies, to keep rolling, keep moving. So it's like the country then becomes reliant on these big companies to keep them afloat, because if they were to shut down, there would be like a financial crisis again, be a shutdown, because they're so big and they create so much of the market. So yeah, that's one of the examples. JFK was pointing out that kind of shit being a threat, or a problem that could arise with the way they were going with war. Anyway, my point was that it couldn't happen today. That shit could not happen today, because imagine how many fucking telephone footage videos there would be of that shit. You can't get away with anything like that today. You can't cover up someone's fucking death, because there would be so many fucking videos of that shit that it'd be fucking impossible. Absolutely impossible. It'd have to be like, you'd have to fucking make it seem like a terrorist attack or something. Like, you'd have to blow up so many people just to get away with, taking out one person. Because otherwise you wouldn't get away with it. So that was my point with that one. Next up is... Now this one makes me laugh a bit, because, I don't know, like... I actually just listened to Joe Rogan's podcast with Dr. Peter McCullough. And if you like, I'd give it a listen. It's interesting. Like, he just talks about how it plays into the COVID-19 vaccine kind of thing. He's against them because of the research he's done, and he's just saying it's a bit sus, because I'll give you a quick rundown. His argument was, no matter, like, he was a huge, he was pushing the fact that they should start treating it before it gets to the hospital level. Like, there should be a treatment concoction, or a treatment method, or a plan to treat people at home so they don't get to the hospitalization. Because what the way it works at the moment is, you get COVID, right, and you stay at home and you isolate until, like, it gets bad enough that you have to call the ambulance and then go to hospital because the chest infection has, like, taken over. And he said, why would we do that? Like, why would we let it get to that point when we can, like, give people a method to try and treat it at home? So, like, give them a combination of different drugs to try and treat themselves while they're at home before they get to hospital, so it's not as bad. And, like, no one wants to have a bar of it. He's being, like, silenced. No one's interested. Everyone's just vaccine. And I think, I don't know, just listen to it. It's worth listening to, because I'm not going to be able to put it in good terms, but the way he puts it is just, it seems like doctors are ignoring like certain studies, ignoring different ways to treat it. They're not interested. They just want to push the vaccine. And it's just, yeah, it like, I don't know, it's eye-opening, very eye-opening. So please, like, give it a fucking listen. What episode number is it? Episode 1747. Fuck, he's done a lot of episodes. But yeah, listen to it, please. I'm not going to do it justice. This dude is a fucking smart man, and he's worth listening to. What was the next one? That's right. So COVID-19, this is one of my favorite conspiracy theories. The next two are my favorite because I just think they're fucking wild. COVID-19 vaccines having microchips in them in order to control us. The idea that Bill Gates engineered the vaccines to have microchips in them to control us. Can you imagine that, if that was actually real? Like, do you remember those videos of people sticking magnets to their arm after they got the vaccine? Can you imagine if they had actually put microchips in us? Like, no, you're not that fucking important. I don't want to burst your little bubble, but you're just not that important, man. I'm sorry. Like, none of us are. We're not that fucking important to fucking spend all this money to put microchips in everyone on the earth. You're not that fucking important. What are you doing that's some big government secret? Like, you're all worried about that. What are you fucking doing that's so important? Nothing. You're just a fucking number. It sucks. I'm a number too. Everyone's just a fucking number. You're not doing shit that's important that they're going to fucking want to put a microchip in your arm. And if they were trying to put a microchip in the arm, why would you need 2 doses? I don't get it. Anyway, I just think that's preposterous. And it sounds like the plot to Kingsman. If you haven't seen Kingsman before too, fucking watch it. Both movies are fantastic. It is one of the fucking greatest movies around. I want them to make another. I think they're making another one, but I want them to make another one with Eggsy. It's a fucking great movie. Holy shit. Just the way it's shot and the action sequences are the fucking best. Anyway, it's like the plot to Kingsman, where Samuel Jackson's character puts like exploding chips into all these key people's heads behind their ears, and if they don't do what he says, he blows them up. That's what it sounds like, but like, I don't think that's what the vaccine's doing, because 1, we're not that important, and 2, I feel like a microchip wouldn't fit in a syringe. I don't know, unless there's nanotech. Who knows? This goes deep, but I just think people seem to think they're more important than they actually are, which is, prime example with this fucking conspiracy theory. And the next one, this is my absolute hands down fucking favorite. Like, I don't know, I feel like I'm judging people for this one, because when you hear it, you'll either laugh or you'll think that I'm a fucking idiot, because you'll think this is real. This one, yeah, every time I hear this, I mean, if you were to tell me that this is the one that you believed, I would try not to, but I would probably judge you. Anyway, this one is the fact that there it is. The COVID vaccines are really just injections of chips that help boost 5G. You heard me. The COVID vaccines are just injections of like microchips or like a serum that helps boost the 5G signals. Now, I can tell you, as someone who has 5G, I constantly lose the 5G signal. I've had both doses of the vaccine. I constantly lose 5G signal everywhere I go. No matter whether I'm fucking in the middle, like it happened the other week. I spoke about it last week. I was driving through fucking Eltham. That's like a built-up fucking, pretty big suburb or town. I don't know what you want to call it. And I had fucking 3G. If I had the vaccine and I was boosting 5G signal wherever I went, mate, I would have fantastic signal in the middle. I'd be on 5G all the time. There are times where I'm riding my bike around here and I get into fucking 3G and then my podcast stops playing because I run out of 5G or don't even get 4G. I go back down to 3G or 2G or nothing. So I just think that's hilarious. To me, that's personally my favorite. Whenever I hear that, I'm like, oh God, you are an interesting character. They're the kinds of people that I would want to like get into their brain and just learn their thought process and learn what goes on. Because it's interesting to me, that kind of stuff. Anyway, moving on, plowing ahead, as old Billy Bigface would say. This one is interesting. I never knew this one existed, but this one is the theory that in 2012, when scientists discovered Higgs boson, that the Earth got sucked into a black hole, and we just haven't realized yet. Now, to me, that seems ridiculous. Now, I want to Google Higgs boson because I didn't get a chance to do that. Not hog's breath. Higgs boson. Here we go. Higgs boson, CERN. Here we go. About what is Higgs boson in simple terms? Perfect. The Higgs boson is the fundamental particle associated with the Higgs field, a field that gives mass to other fundamental particles such as electrons and quarks. A particle's mass determines how much it resists changing its speed or position when it encounters a force. Is Higgs boson alive? One way to prove, I don't know, what does Higgs boson do? Is a fundamental particle associated with the Higgs field, a field that gives mass to other fundamental particles such as electrons. So, to be honest, I don't really know what it is. Yeah, detect the particle. I don't know. It just gives mass to other particles, basically. I don't know what it is, don't know what it does. But basically, this conspiracy theory is that when scientists discovered it, they caused the Earth to get sucked into a black hole, and then we just haven't realized that yet. At the moment, we are in the middle of a black hole, and we just don't know. So, like, all these guys going to the edge of space, they're not really going to the edge of space, they're going to the edge of the black hole because we're getting sucked through it right now. This could mean that we will come out the other side, 30 years and 100 years in the future, or 100 years in the past, or like at the start of the whole universe. So who knows? We could be in for some exciting times. And, my theory is that it could take around 10 years for us to come out the other side of the portal. So we could be on the brink of a fucking wild discovery next year, 2022. Crazy. Anyway, that one, I never knew that one existed, and I was like, geez, how did that one fucking, go under the radar? Was 2012 the year that it was like the end of the Mayan calendar? Maybe that's where that kind of they got confused. There were these conspiracy theorists that were, heard that the world was ending because of the end of the Mayan calendar, and then they found out that these guys discovered the Higgs boson particle, and then somehow they saw a black hole somewhere, and then they got that confused, and then all of a sudden everything started merging, and they were like, oh my god, the world's ending because of we're getting sucked into a black hole, and they discovered the Higgs boson. It's all connected. Illuminati. That's another one. Illuminati is another crazy conspiracy that is just jam my finger, is interesting. I didn't do any research on that, so maybe I'll come back with another one of these episodes. And Illuminati, I'll come back with another one of these episodes and actually do a few more conspiracies. Do a bit of research. Maybe I'll pick my favorite ones and actually go into a bit of depth on them instead of just reading some dot points. This next one is super interesting. Disney made the movie Frozen to manipulate the Google search algorithm to make it harder for people to Google information on the theory that Walt Disney froze himself so he could be brought back to life later on. I like this one because this is this is possible. There's a theory that Walt Disney was cryogenically frozen so that in hopes that, he could be brought back to life and live a long, prosperous life, years and years down the track, when cryogenically it's possible to bring people back from being cryogenically frozen. Austin Powers. So yeah, the theory that Disney made the movie Frozen so that when people would search Disney Frozen, it wouldn't, it would go straight to the movie Frozen 2, all that kind of stuff. It wouldn't show, you would Google Walt Disney Frozen and it would come up with the movie, as opposed to, Googling his name and it coming up with a bunch of research around him cryogenically freezing himself. I think that's interesting. It could also just be a coincidence and someone's like, That's a pretty smart thing to do. Maybe I'll, come up with a conspiracy about it and put it out there for the world to read, for the world to see, for the world to read. Yeah. Anyway, moving on to the next one. The Earth is in fact hollow. So in 2014, scientists released new unknown findings about the Earth's core. The Earth's core. Fucking hell. What's going on here? I can't read out loud. I was just thinking while I was reading that. I was like, damn, I'm doing really well. And then I fucked it. The Earth's core. Some people took this information and ran with a new conspiracy theory that the Earth is in fact hollow. Meaning there is nothing inside the Earth. So all these deep drills that get down to like fucking hundreds of thousands of meters and they pull oil up. Below that is nothing. Zero. Zilch. A giant, empty, just space. Just like space, but in the middle. And then others ran with the theory that there's actually another Earth inside of Earth. Which, when I read that, I was like, I believe that more than it being hollow. Like, if you've seen Rick and Morty, there's an episode where, spoilers, it's a great show, you should watch it, but he has this spaceship / car that he has, and has a battery in it that runs it, and the battery goes flat, and he's like, oh shit, I better go and see what's going on. And then they shrink themselves into the battery, and he has created a world with the whole purpose of the world is to create power, and that power generates power for his car. So they get into the battery, and then they get there, and he starts talking to the not the heroes, but like the people in charge of this world. And he's like, what's going on? Why is there no power? And the guy's like, we've just created a way to create sustainable energy. And they've got like fucking windmills and turbines, but it's like a whole planet in there. And then it gets to the point that they were like, that's right. So they stop creating power for Rick. And then Rick gets there and they're like, yeah, we've created this awesome way to generate power for ourselves, blah, blah, blah. And they go and they've created the same thing he did. So then they've created this tiny little world inside a battery that has a purpose of creating power. And this goes on for a few. So like they keep shrinking themselves down and down and down. And like to this point where there's this, the same thing. They keep shrinking themselves down and everyone's got a battery that has a little world inside it that is creating power for the battery. And I was like, that's not too far-fetched. Like, we don't know what it's like. You know, when you zoom in, like in Ant-Man, I'm jumping across a lot of things here. I apologize if you're not well-versed in seeing things. But in Ant-Man, when you go like subcutaneous, when you go so small that you go like to the size of the atom, we don't know what it's like at that level. There could be other Earths inside the Earth. We don't fucking know. There's probably other Earths around us all the time. Like you look at little ecosystems, under the grass, there's a fucking a different planet of ecosystem under there. Like you shrink in underneath the grass. There's fucking worms, ants running around, like all at a different level. I'm sure if you shrunk down small enough, there would be, a bunch of different things. So their theories, like, although it's probably wrong with what they're thinking, they're probably right to a certain degree as well. Just not what they're thinking. They're thinking another Earth like us inside the Earth, but I'm sure there's another life form in there with a different planet or a different planet. Like it doesn't have to be the same as us. So I thought that one was pretty cool. Then obviously following on from that one is my next favorite one. The Earth is in fact flat. Now, this is one of my favorite ones because, like, I don't know, man. I don't know if there's people that actually believe this or if they're just taking the piss. Like, think about it for a second. How could it possibly be flat? Where are the ends? Where are the edges? People have fucking sailed around the entire world and there have been no edges. People have fucking flown hot air balloons around the world. People have fly planes around the world. Where are the fucking edges? If there was an end to the Earth, you would just fly off into the abyss, wouldn't you? I don't get it. It's so dumb. I don't want to call people dumb, but come on, dude. How is it flat? Are we the only planet that's flat? Like, the other planets are all round. They're all round. And we're just flat. That would look so stupid. That wouldn't make sense. That just doesn't make sense. I don't know. Like, I get people thinking the Earth was flat years and years ago, before they even discovered the whole planet, before they had made it off the planet, to look back and see it. But what do they do about the pictures that were taken from the fucking space station, where the Earth's round? Nah, not real. Not real. Fake. Fake pictures, doctored, not real. The Earth's actually flat. The Earth is 100% flat. It doesn't really exist. It does exist. It's just flat. It's not round. All these globes, fake, not real. Fake news. These pictures, all fake. Made in a lab, just like the virus. It's just, I don't think it's fucking wild, man. You see footage from the space station, it's fucking round. Then there's some of these people also think the moon is fake. They think the moon is a projection. The moon, a projection. They think there's a giant projector shooting the moon into the sky, which, I mean, is like, I watch Dragon Ball and I love Dragon Ball, and they have that. Because when they see the moon, or when they get moonlight on them, they turn into the great ape, which is like the strongest shit ever. So they have little projectors that can project an image of the moon in the sky. Now, that's a cartoon made in the 80s. And it's also not real because, well, I mean, I'd like to think Saiyans are real, and I'd like to think I'm one, but they're not. Or as far as we know, they're not. So, yeah, I don't think the moon's a projection, and I don't think the Earth is flat either. And if the Earth was flat, why would you project a round moon into the sky? Why wouldn't you project something flat? Like a square, flat moon into the sky. I don't know, man. These people are just wild. Like, you can't even see. If you went to the ocean, it disappears. If the Earth was flat, you'd be able to see forever, wouldn't you? You can literally see the curve of the horizon. Like, if the Earth was flat, you wouldn't see that. I don't know. All the water would just fall off the edge of the Earth and disappear. Haven't they, like, what if these people think it's so flat, why don't they just go to the edge of the Earth and send us a picture? It'd be very funny if they did, because they would literally be like, they'd start here, and they would just like, all right, we're going to go to the edge of the world, see you guys, and they'd take off. And then they would come back and they'd be like, fuck, we must have taken a wrong turn. We'll see you later, guys. And then they'll keep going. They'll just do laps of the Earth. Probably keep them busy instead of doing other jobs. Because let's face it, if you think the Earth's flat, you know. Anyway, this one I believe to a certain extent, that we're all living in the Matrix. Now, I mean, this could be true, and it kind of makes sense, or if it's not true now, it's going to be true in the future. Like, you look at the metaverse, that's pretty much like the first step to the Matrix. So, although this may not be true now, it's probably going to be true. And then if it's true in the future, how do we know it's not true right now, and that we're just, in the future, but living in the past? We don't. You don't know. Like, there's no disputing. Like, with the flat Earth, there's fucking pictures of shit proving that it is round. But with this, we don't know. We don't know whether it's flat, whether it's round. We have no idea. I mean, we don't know whether we're in a fucking simulation or whether we're not. There's no way to tell. There's no way to tell. You're only going to find out when you die. Which is, I hope you find out. I hope you fucking get the secrets when you die. I hope they, like, when you die, you get to walk through this giant door, these big doors, and you, like, push them open, and then there's this desk with this fucking book like this, and you get to take your time, you get to spend eternity flipping through these fucking pages and reading the secrets of history before you go through the next door. And the next door is just you coming back to life. Or walking out into, I don't know, so you get to read all these books. You get to read these fucking books of the history of the Earth, and then you walk through another door, and it's like you're on the Earth, and you've just walked out of this. You look back, and it says Simulation Center, and you've just walked out of the Simulation Center, and now you're on planet Earth, and you're like, holy shit, that was all a fucking simulation. nice. And then you get to live your life. And then that keeps happening over and over again. But yeah, the Matrix conspiracy theory is, it's kind of cool. It's a cool one. I'd like to think it was true. Or it'd be, like, I don't know. If, like, here's a question for you. Like, with Metaverse coming out and all that kind of stuff. Would you join the Metaverse? I personally am hesitant. I don't think I want to. I reckon it would be tough for, like, a lot of people. It's going to be tough because you think about it. I've got to stop leaving on cliffhangers. If this Metaverse is actually better than your real life, like, fuck, I'd want to jump in it too. Like, wouldn't you? If you could have everything you ever wanted in this virtual reality and you would feel all the... Like, one thing I'm going through at the moment with my psychologist is, like, your brain thinks things and you feel it. Your body doesn't know if it's actually happening or not. Your body has no idea. If your brain thinks it, it's happening. Like, it's as far as your brain's, sure, it's happening. Like, she said there was this study of people... They had 3 groups. They had, like... people doing nothing with their arm, people clenching their fists, and then people just imagining the feeling of clenching their fists. And she said that the people that did nothing, obviously nothing changed in their forearm. The people that were clenching their fists had muscle development in their forearm, and the people that were thinking that they were clenching their fists, like picturing the movement actually happening and the feeling of what it felt like, also had muscle development. So... if you are to put yourself in the metaverse, VR, you're still going to feel everything like it's real. It may not be real, but it will feel real. So that's kind of scary when you think of it like that. Like, what's going to stop you from getting trapped in there and preferring that to your real life? So I don't know, man. It's full on, and we could very well end up in the Matrix. I'd like to think I wouldn't be in the Matrix. I'd like to think... or I'd be a part of the plot. But I'd be one of those guys dressed in leather, running around doing all sorts of crazy shit. Because fuck being caught. Fuck being in a computer program forever. That's nowhere to live, man. That's nowhere to live. No. Anyway, that's the conspiracies I wrote down. I've had aliens, 9/11 and Illuminati, but I think I'll talk about them another day. My voice is a bit sore. My voice box is blown out a bit. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It was a bit different, I thought. It was a bit different to what I normally do. I was like, I couldn't think of a topic, and I was like, what's something that I'm interested in? And it was conspiracies. So I was like, you know what, fine, I'll fucking look up a few conspiracies, throw in some of my favourite ones, and then I'll just talk about them for a bit. So I did. Hopefully, it'd be cool if you guys didn't know them all, and then these were, like, interesting ones for you guys. So I was like, yeah, you know what, I'll talk about conspiracies, write down a cool few ones, and then, go to town on it. But what was I thinking about next? That's right. So I think my next few episodes are going to be... So today I'm going to obviously talk about conspiracy files. Next week's one will be, I'll wrap the year up, talk about some things happen that are cool, some changes that happen that are, like, daunting, all that kind of stuff. Like, my first half of the year was pretty productive, pretty cool, and the second half was a bit whack. I'm not going to go into details on the things I can't. Hopefully in the future I will be able to, but for now they're still going to remain a secret unless you actually know me. Then if you're really interested too, just fucking message me and I'll tell you. I just don't want to put it out there in the public domain. So if you really want to know what's going on, just fucking send me a message and I'll just voice memo you the answer to that. Then I'll take, I think, 2 or 3 weeks off, depending on what I'm doing, and then I will come back and I'll state my goals for the year. I think that'll be the next episode, like what I plan on doing, where my head's at with certain things, all this stuff. And then I think the next episode, I'm trying to plan out a few episodes in advance so that I can, get on a bit of a roll. The next episode I want to do an episode talking about cryptocurrency and, like, investing, because that's kind of cool. That's a little side passion of mine. So I'll do one on that. And then who knows? I'm going to think of some other shit. hopefully when I'm off, I'll have some cool stories as well to share with you guys. And then, yeah, happy days. There was something else I was going to say. This will probably get covered off better in the one next year. But, yeah, I'm struggling fucking heaps with training at the moment. It's wild. I just realized I didn't screenshot any of those conspiracies, so it's going to be a bitch to write down timestamps. Anyway, that's not a problem for me now. It's a problem for me in the future. Yeah, I'm struggling fucking heaps with my training at the moment for the Ironman stuff, and I was just like, I don't know. I think I'm going to do Geelong. I'll have a crack. I'll try and do my 440. And then I might take a bit of a break from try training. Just give myself maybe half a year or a year off of just doing what I want to do for training, and then work myself back in, because I really want to have a crack and do a really good Ironman. Like, I want to go sub 10 for an Ironman. That'd be so cool. And I know I can do it, but at the moment, like, I was talking to someone the other day, and if I was to try and ramp up and build for an Ironman next year and do Cairns, like, part of me really wants to, because a lot of people have already qualified for Kona. So in theory, if I was to do this coming year, like, a lot of people have already qualified. So, you know, the people that would finish ahead of me, likely they've qualified, so they would knock back their spot and it would trickle down to get to me. So I would have a fair chance to actually qualify for something. But, like, it just takes a lot of mental capacity. At the moment, I'm struggling to train for a fucking half Ironman, which is nowhere near as bad or nowhere near as tough. So I think next year, once I tick Geelong off, I'm just going to fucking chill, reassess, and just put some time into me and figuring stuff out for me. Because at the moment, I don't have heaps of time. Like, I'm not working, and I still feel like I don't have time. So, I think I'm going to take a mini break from that for a bit and see how we go. But otherwise, that's enough from me today. I hope you guys have a ripper fucking week. Merry Christmas. Oh, no, I'll say that. No, yeah, because it's going to be Christmas in halfway through the week. So Merry Christmas, my friends. I should have wore a Christmas hat today. Fucked up. Rookie mistake. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If not, I tried something different. Just talking about conspiracies. It probably was may have been on the boring side for a few of you, but you know what? I apologize. You live and you learn. Have a fucking ripper week. Merry Christmas, and enjoy all the food. I can't wait to eat some vegan snacks. I'm so keen. I'm actually having spaghetti with meatballs tonight. I got some vegan meatballs, and I made a nice sauce, and they're simmering away right now. So when I finish this, I'm going to go check on them and make sure they're delicious. So anyway, have a ripper fucking week. Get out there, get it done, enjoy the sun. It's a fucking fantastic day today. Peace out. Peace out, my friends.